Kentucky Living Magazine, and the Kentucky Beef Council proudly present Jack Fry's executive chef, Shawn Ward, for the lean beef cooking demo.
What we're going to do is we're going to start with our first dish. Obviously, is going to be the flank steak. And because the flank steak is traditionally a very, very, very flavorful cut of beef, but it is also something you do not want to cook past medium rare medium. We're going to put it into a bowl. We're going to use a little bit of local soy sauce. We're just going to put a little dash. We're going to use a little bit of raw garlic, a little bit of sea salt, and a little bit of fresh black pepper. Now, we're just going to marinate this. We prefer to do this overnight. Anything over that, and I would put a limit on it, 24 hours. Anything more than that, you're definitely going to change the flavor of the beef. So while that's marinating, what we're going to do is we are going to make a few things that will accompany the beef. So in order to start, what we're going to do is we're going to take shallots. Now these shallots are a little bit big, so I did cut them. I cut them in half. So if your shallots are not this big, please, by all means, you don't have to cut them. A good quality olive oil, and just coat our shallots. A little bit of salt, and a little bit of pepper. A couple of fresh stalks of thyme. And then we are going to wrap it up in aluminum foil. With this, we have encapsulated it in aluminum foil, and we are going to roast it. Now I sealed it so that it would not leak. Now the game plan that we have here is to roast the shallots until they are fork tender, almost like you are pretending you are baking a baked potato, and you want your potato to be pierced very softly. That's what we're going for. But on top of that, we are going to savor all the juices from this. So that's why you want to make sure it has a tight seal. We're just going to throw it in the oven. Start with our mushroom confit, and which is very simple here. I am using fresh portobello mushrooms. What I've done is just cut the portobello mushrooms up to somewhat of a bite size. Now they will shrink, so that's why I haven't cut them up any smaller than this. Take our mushrooms. We're going to put a little bit of olive oil, a touch of garlic, a little bit of lime juice, and a touch of cayenne. So we're just going to throw this into the oven. So now we've actually let this marinate for 24 hours. We are going to go ahead and grill it off. After it's cooked, the procedure you take after that is very important, because you are going to let it rest and come up to the desired temperature you want. We're grilling the beef right now, and then you're going to pull out your mushrooms, and you are going to place your beef on top of your mushrooms that are roasting. Now, the reason why we do that is so that while the meat is cooking, all those juices are going into the mushrooms, and we are actually going to form our sauce. So then you go into your 400-degree oven, and while that's cooking, you would get a stock pot or a pot, small pot, because what you're going to do is pull the shallots that you had roasting, which they do take about 45 minutes to an hour, maybe 30, depending on how big your shallots are. Okay, we are going to be careful when you open it, because it will steam and you will get burned. Also, remove the thyme sprigs that you put on top before you dump them into the thing, or else you're going to be fishing for your thyme. And being very careful, you're going to pour your shallots and your oil into your skillet, trying to get all the oil and all the juices from the shallots. And then you're going to add your diced vegetables, and this is going to be diced tomatoes. And we're just going to give it a quick stir, okay, and adjust the seasoning with just a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. Okay, now we can go ahead and remove that from the heat. Remove our steak that's been in the oven for, I'd say it's going to be about 10 to 15 minutes for a really nice medium rare. So in order to plate this up, we're going to put our mushrooms on our plate. Our steak has been resting, and we're going to go ahead and slice it. All right, you're going to place your meat on top of your mushrooms, and we're going to take our shallot mixture, our vinaigrette. Now, as it sits, it's very well possible that some of the olive oil might leach out, so you may just add just a touch more if that's the case. Just a little bit. You're not going to hurt anything. And then place your shallots on top of your beef and drizzle a little bit of the oil around it. And whatever you have left from your mushrooms. There's your flank steak with absolutely no fat, but flavor. Yeah.